Yes, this is the Steppin razor. Yes. A little synopsis of the history of Paul Bogle, one of our national heroes who gave his life for the working class of the Jamaica under that wicked colonial system, the British colonial system. Still there with me, but in disguise with some bossy slave. Jacket and tie slave them, bossy. So, local election I come round, most of the ones them say them not go vote. Even worse than that, most people don't even know what is the local election for. Most of the youth them don't know upon the corner. None of them don't know upon the corner what when them say local election, where them a talk about. But them know say when it come round, it's a season, forget some little things. When I serve them no purpose for half a year, not even 3 months or a month. It just served them in at the time when the election supposed to happen. After that, them go back to them normal life. Just like every other election. The youth, them is not interested in election per se, and even local when them government election, because them don't know what it is all about. I've been asking, them don't know what it is all about. So I guess the people them need some more education, because this crap of youth, yeah, apart from them full of crap, but them don't want to see no more crap pile up on the crap where them have. Them prefer stand up on the corner and talk about girls and wind up and which DJ said this and which DJ said that. You know, and there's no trust afoot to make the youth them in the school and outside of school understand what it is. What is it? Why is it that every time this have to come round? And why is it that there's 2 different elections in a Jamaica? Why is it that this government never called this election when it was supposed to call 2-3 years ago? And what guy happen when it called? Will the life, or my life, when I say my life, I talk about the youth them life, will it see a better and a brighter light at the tunnel end? That is some question where the people, the youth them want to know. And if them can't know that, they may just go and turn the place upside down and inside out. And the whole generation will come after them will be so oblivious to what life is all about and what is the meaning of life and the purpose of life. The other day I was talking about it's very difficult now for artists sing about love and friendship amongst brothers and sisters, sisters and sisters. Because in a film mind, the word love is sex. That is in a film mind. When you say, I love you, it means I want to have sex with you. That is why I can't say it to a man, because his mind don't dead it so. You know, love no carry him all over. Big man, little man, young woman, children, all of them things there. If not integrate the concept of love in our everyday life. Yet still every day we hear about love is the key, love is the answer, and love is this and love is that. Sometimes we have to wonder who create a word that we name love. Some people say him love God, but him don't love man. Yeah, some people say, well, I go God alone me love, you know, I go God alone me trust. You know, we ask the question all the while. How can you say you love God that you cannot see, yet still you cannot love who you can see? First, you have to love who you can see. Because who you can see is a manifestation of that which you cannot see. I will say it again. But I guess you're supposed to get the picture. Because if you can only love just hypothetically, or you just love because you can say the word, and you don't love who you can see, and you say you love who you can't see, what is it that you are loving that you cannot see? What is it? When you say you love God, who you can't see, what you really mean? Is this God requiring you to love him or love it? What will happen if you decide, say, you love who you can see and love who you can't see? Why you have to give up one for the other? When you look upon human beings and the birds and the trees and the animals, them, you're supposed to see the goodness in those things. And in order to see the goodness in them, you have to see yourself in them. That is part of the Egyptian book of the dead. Them call it the coming forth by day. To see the goodness in things, you have to see yourself in things. And if you could see yourself in the things, that would be a very honest part of reaching that love consciousness, that understanding of what love is all about. Not just male and female. Because you don't have to love somebody if you have sex with them. We understand that. That is why so much women walk the streets at night and get money for their jobs in the night. And them know say you don't love them and them don't love you either. So it's not, sex is not love. Sex is not love. We have to get in ourselves and redefine. I don't want to redefine it. We want to define in our space when we say love, what it means. Is it a man who say him love him cat and him dog, but him not love the cow? Because him yam the cow and him yam goat. What is it? What is it? Why we interpret these words so? And why we have to carry everything between the legs? Why we have to do that? We have to wake up. Wake up to this reality. The reality is that we're all in this thing together and we have to work it out. And that the song say. I think I tell a friend the God sing it. And then I was to sing it over. We are all in this thing together and we have to work it out. So you see when you look upon a man and say, why you want to say, me not trust man, you know. Me not trust nobody. And that's some man, that's some youth are reason, you know. And the person who must say, hey, watch out. A man will look at the next man and say, him not trust nobody, you know. That means that the man who must tell that him not trust him neither, you know. And a man stand up there and take that. A man stand up there and take that when a man I say, me not trust nobody. And when you hear the DJ never sing them and say, them not trust nobody. And what God alone they love. What kind of mentality that? A God alone you love. How you come to that? How you come to that? God alone you love. You don't know who's God. Who's God? Them say God is a spirit. And I can't tell them say you must worship God in the spirit and in truth. And them say God make you. So why you think say the God require you to love it? I don't know when I say it out, my people are going to get vexed, but I'm not putting it in the male or the female. I say it. Why you feel say it requires you to love it? Because of where you grow up, come here. And if you don't love it, you are doomed and damned. But you're upon the earth with millions of people, male and female, boys and girls. And you are singing at yourself, say, you don't trust no man. You not trust no man. That's why I whole heap of them man, when you see them out, you don't see them with no man. Most of them man, when you see a goat at night time, them not go out with woman. But yet still them want to go out, go look at woman. You understand? That means them have a woman, you know, whole heap of them have woman, you know. Woman got them yard, you know, look after them picnic. But so when them go party, them no wrap them woman and round for them and I say, come darling, make we go have fun. Them none of that. Them go to the boys and then them go on like. And you see them turn up over this one and 6, 7 man are dance together. It's madness. It's madness. One of the days when man and woman used to dance together. Together. That guy now, man and dance and they get up, you don't love no man. You say you don't love no man and when you go dance, a pure man you dance with. When you look on all YouTube and TikTok, and you see the man them spread out in a line. When you look on the music video them, most of them, 99% of the music video them, the dancehall video them me attack. It's pure man a dance with man. And every man a dance in unison. In unison. That means say, you have to, when you move your right foot, every man have to move him right foot. When you move your left foot, every man have to move him left foot. When you move your head, every man head have to go the same way like the other man. A joke. A joke business. So where the woman them there? The woman them gone and next corner and wanna do for them own thing. And then you talk about, you know, nothing with man. You know, watch a man, you know, rethink these things. Time you know, rethink it. Because it make we get ignorant, dark. Yes. We don't have no sense of purpose. No sense of purpose. And we treat one another like one another is nothing. Yeah. We have to wake up and live, man. Wake up and live because I see the man them live within the money thing. The more money you have, it's better you feel. Of course, every man, the more money you have, the most better you feel because you know say certain problems get alleviated when you have money. So a man couldn't fight against money. But when you decide, say, you're going to sing, say, money over woman. Why you can't come up with some things in a rasta? I mean, in all my life, I never do say, I live to come here and man I sing fashion over style and all them something there. You don't know what fashion is. I don't know what style is. Style is your personality. When you look, you have a certain personality, that is style. Fashion is where come and go and come and go. And everybody in the same fashion, design. But your style is your personality. I don't know how everybody twists around everything. Everybody twists around everything and keeps them upon a level. We have to understand levels, consciousness, be aware. You understand? I don't make certain things overcome way. Because right now that is what they have to do, for overcome way. And a whole heap of we now get caught. Whole heap of we get caught. And just a play and Ray and Lele and them things and that thing say, watch out, when the night go down, it's morning again. And we start over the day. And if you do have certain things in your heart, if you do have certain things in your thought, you're going to go come like a ship without rudder. You just move with the storm and the wind and the wave and end up on a rock and broke up. That is what it is all about. We the people must understand how we're going to confront all of these things that is in front of us, that is keeping us down for years, especially when it come on to them time of year. Yeah. When you hear the bossy slave, them say, election time, come. Jump on the coaster bus. Jump in at the taxi. Let us go and gather. And hundreds of people gather to hear the one-eyed man talk him talk. To hear the emperor who have on no clothes speak him speech. And then when them done, them give a little thing on the side. See there? Watch there. Me a talk and when me hear when them call them, I blow out the road there. When you look on the side of the road, a pure flag. And we hear say them not was supposed to do that again. We hear say them wasn't supposed to do that again, and them still do it. So you see all them things, they just joke business. Joke business. People, and we are talking about the youth them on the corner. When you're not going to wake up, you're not sleep, Rasta. Yeah, man, you're not sleep. You're not get drug out. You're not get drug out. And you're not get caught in a web, a spider's web that is weaved by these guys in authority that create a sense of insecurity. You know, you hear them say, them find out, say, in a Manchester, Mandeville, the rate of suicide and insanity is high. Imagine that. Them find out that, them take them survey and find out, say, insanity is rising big in them part of the world there. And suicide. Bully per youth, they try suicide one time in life or another. Suicide. Can you believe that? Young people we are talking about. You know, things say old people where can't walk again and, you know, done them time no and think them and say, boy, I me just commit suicide and go. No, young people who don't even start life yet. Them don't even reach 35 yet. And them say the majority of Jamaican people are 35 and under. Old people that are looking for commit no suicide. You know, see, just one day them just lay down there and then them not get up back. And when them grandparents come inside, them say, oh gosh, Aunt Whoopi dead, you know. She dead in her sleep. Them youth are not dead in her sleep. Sometimes you feel say nothing wrong with them. Them have all sort of disease. I talk about the young people them. Them have all sort of cards on them head. And when them go out there, two them not have no friend. And them not look no friend. And them not trust no one. Whole heap of things happen. Not even the car them a drive. Trust them. Believe you me. Stephen Marley said, chase them, run them. Okay, so, and you just come into it that we have to mention it right now. Jam World Entertainment Complex will become the first 24-hour entertainment zone in Jamaica. Jam World Entertainment Complex will become the first 24-hour entertainment zone in Jamaica. Governor General Patrick Allen made the announcement today during his throne speech during today's ceremonial opening of Parliament. So, that is good news. And it had to be done on the eve of the election. We know that. So, Jam World, 24-hour entertainment zone. That means you can't go till all morning and the next day. You can't keep all a 4-day session in there. And I hope the police them know that. Like the ganja thing, I hope the police them know. Say, this is what the governor, the father of Jamaica say. Yes, the father of Jamaica, the Governor General Patrick Allen, made the announcement in Parliament that the entertainment complex at Jam World will become the first 24-hour entertainment zone. Argument done. We don't want to hear no more argument about too much noise over there and all them something there. So it go. Yes. This month of reggae month, we are called upon the people to play more reggae. Yes, reggae. I don't know what reggae is, you know. I don't know what reggae is. We need to play more reggae. Yes. The music that put Jamaica. Sorry, the music that put Jamaica on the map out there. Yeah, the music that put Jamaica on the map out there. Reggae music. When we say reggae music, we are talking about reggae music. Understand? We need to hear more reggae music because it's that make Jamaica have the status where it have out there. And reggae music not stop make. Even though people are making sound that way there. Reggae music not stop make. We need to hear it loud. And that we are defend. And that we are defend. How we are going like say we want to lift it so and go to something else. How we are going to do that? You can go lift the root and go on the branch, or you think so the branch are going to there, or you think the leaf them are going to grow if it don't have the root. Yes, before we start the name them, I want to send out Earth Strong blessings from Mr. Denton Sincard, a.k.a. Andy, from Columbus Sky Castle. So, Mr. Denton, Steppin Razor say, great Earth Strong, happy Earth Strong. Okay, so here we go now. We want to say, one to DJ Brian. DJ Brian, I don't want you go like you want bully in a Rasta. The man I come go like him a bully, so. I come along like for beat you up, you know. You can stay right just so. Okay. You hear what I say. As you know, we present this program, whether it's Black History Month or not. African names. We're going to start out with the male names. Ready? Akamafula, A-K-A-M-A-F-U-L-A. Akamafula means, may my work be rewarded. May my work be rewarded. Akeke means a friend born to be an ambassador. Born to be an ambassador. Akeke. Akil, A-K-I-L. No, I could forget about that one. That is when I give an Arab name, right, just so. Akins, A-K-I-N-S, Akins. Akins means he is a brave boy. He is a brave boy. And the next one is Akko, A-K-O, Akko. The first child is a son. The first child is a son. So, I could that again. Akamafula, A-K-A-M-A-F-U-L-A means, may my work be rewarded. Akeke, A-K-I-I-K-I. Akeke means, born to be an ambassador. Born to be an ambassador. And the next one is Akko. A-K-O, Akko, means the first child is a son. The first child is a son. So we go to the female names. See if we can find them and so we will put them. Okay. So the first name is Amadi. A-M-A-D-I, Amadi means giant. From Igbo, giant, Amadi. A-M-A-D-I, Amadi. Amina, A-M-I-N-A, Amina means trustworthy. I think I get a name there already, you know. Anaka, A-N-A-K-A, Anaka. Anaka means to share. Anaka means to share. So that's Amadi, A-M-A-D-I, Amadi means giant. Amina, A-M-I-N-A, Amina means trustworthy. And Anaka, A-N-A-K-A, Anaka means to share. African names. Yes, this is the Steppin Razor. I want to remind you that you're a living person. You're a living person, and your quality of life depends on you. The quality of your life is depending on you. So do the right thing. Do the right thing. So you know, we are going to play. All right, you know, you have a voice of an actor that them did that. Okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, there is a actor that did a play about Garvey. And him kind of him become Garvey in the play and the speeches, and those speeches has been taped over and over and sent out there. And people actually believe that is Garvey's speech. If you listen to the speech and listen to what I'm saying, you know it's not Garvey, but nobody knows business about that. People are business say, this is what Garvey say. But when people start to run along and say, a Garvey that, and you know it's not Garvey, it kind of vex you. So you are going to know. We're going to play two-part of two speech that is the original, authentic voice of Marcus Garvey. The original, authentic voice of Marcus Garvey. So here we go.
Fellow members of the Negro race, I have to thank you for the cordial welcome you have given me on this my return to the United States of America. I have been absent from this country for 5 months, being away in the West Indies and in Central America, traveling in the interest of the movement I represent as its President General. During my absence from America, I had occasion to observe with a great degree of disgust how narrow-minded the so-called leaders of the Negro race are. In that, immediately after I took my departure from the country, the men who are supposed to represent and lead Negro thought in America endeavored to represent me to the government of these United States by charging me with anarchy and with an intention to destroy the loyalty of Negroes to the government of this great country. These representations were made to the state and other departments, which occasioned me great embarrassment in returning to these shores. As by such information to the departments of state, the instructions were given therefrom to the various consular officers outside of the country representing the government not to give them my passport for return to this country. I had ultimately to appeal to the good services of the Honorable Charles Evans Hughes, Secretary of State, whom I believe represents truly and thoroughly the spirit of the American Constitution. I explained to him the situation, and he immediately gave instructions that my passport be visited for a return to the United States of America. This act defeated the misrepresentations made by the enemies of my organization and by the enemies of the Negro race to prevent my return to my sphere of labor. With all the embarrassment, I am once more in the United States of America, and it is for me to avow not only my loyalty to the Constitution, laws, and government of the United States, but also avow that loyalty that is characteristic of the members of the Universal Negro Improvement Association to government. The Universal Negro Improvement Association teaches its members everywhere to be loyal to government, but at the same time to be loyal to the great race of which they are members. As an organization, we desire our educational, industrial, social, and political advancement. Because of this desire, we are loyal to ourselves and to our Constitution. But it means us loyal does not mean that we are disloyal to any government or that we have no sympathy with other races. We love humanity. We desire peace. And anything the Universal Negro Movement Association and I can do for the advancement of the cause of humanity and for the permanent establishment of peace, we shall be glad to do. I am now convinced more than ever that the Negro lacks proper leadership. The men who have led in the past are incapable. I therefore appeal to the new manhood of the streets of ours to give us leadership, leadership that is unselfish, leadership that knows no price. We can do no better than copy the leadership of the great Anglo-Saxon race. That leadership that gave to the world William Pitt, William Ewart Gladstone, A. Disraeli, and F. Chamberlain. And last but not least among them all, A. David Lloyd George.
That is the authentic voice of our first national hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Serious thing. So we want to
fellow citizens of Africa,
hear him again.
I greet you in the name of the universe. If anything praiseworthy is to be done, it must be done through unity. And it is for that reason that the Universal Negro Movement Association calls upon every Negro in the United States to rally to its standards. We want to unite the Negro race in this country. We want every Negro to work for one common object, that of building a nation of his own on the great continent of Africa. That all Negroes all over the world are working for the establishment of a government in Africa means that it will be realized in another few years. We want the moral and financial support of every Negro to make the dream a possibility. Already, this organization has established itself in Nigeria, West Africa, and is endeavoring to do all possible to develop that Negro country to become a great industrial and commercial commonwealth. Pioneers have been sent by this organization to Nigeria, and they are now laying the foundations upon which the 400 million Negroes of the world will build. If you believe that the Negro has a soul, if you believe that the Negro is a man, if you believe the Negro was endowed with the senses commonly given to other men by the Creator, then you must acknowledge that what other men have done, Negroes can do. We want to build up cities, nations, governments, industries of our own in Africa, so that we'll be able to have a chance to rise from the lowest to the highest positions in the African Commonwealth.
Yeah, that is the authentic voice of Marcus Garvey. Can't say never hear him voice yet. Okay, so we're going to take a break and come forward. Yeah, so why you love Vivian, Shamara, Shane Clark, give thanks. We want to finish our program with a tribute to Marcus Garvey. And you know who have the most Marcus Garvey songs? Burning Spear. So until the program done, Marcus Garvey music straight. Okay, so we have our next giveaway by Derriman Traders said we. So here we go. The first person who answered the following question correctly win a gift basket courtesy of Derriman Trading. Derriman Trading, yes. The numbers to call as usual is 974-5051, 974-5079, 974-5043, and 618-0352. The question is, what sizes of the deluxe canned beef is available? What size of these canned beef is available? So when you get the right answer, you will get a gift basket.
Good afternoon. It's Thursday, February 15. Here are the headlines. Government budgets $1.3 trillion for upcoming fiscal year 2024-25. Opposition leaders suggest that Prime Minister Andrew Holness should not contest another election unless his statutory declaration is certified. Private sector organization president says Jamaica needs to overcome the decline in productivity in order to reach its full economic potential. And now the details. Government has budgeted $1.3 trillion for the upcoming fiscal year 2024-2025. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark told Parliament today that debts that mature this calendar year are included in the budget.
Jamaica's national budget is now firmly in the $1 trillion range, with total expenditure and payments for fiscal year 2024-25 estimated at $1.3 trillion. This is to be financed by revenue and grant receipts of $1 trillion and loan and other financing of $0.3 trillion. It should be noted that the government has debt maturing of $317 billion this year, which is included in the expenditure figure above, as compared with the $125 billion that matured last year. When you look at non-debt expenditure, however, at approximately $849.9 billion, this is 10.9% higher than the non-debt expenditure of $765.8 billion in the fourth supplementary estimates of 2023-24. The revenue expenditure profile program, Madam Speaker, generates the targeted positive fiscal balance of 0.3% of GDP as required under the recovery profile generated following the suspension of fiscal rules in fiscal year 2020-21.
He said over $400 million will cover compensation expenses.
Contributing to the $1.3 trillion expenditure profile are non-debt recurrent expenditure of $769.9 billion, capital expenditure of $80 billion, and debt service of $491.2 billion. Non-debt recurrent expenditure includes allocation for recurrent program expenses at $327.8 billion, as well as compensation expenses at $442 billion. The compensation allocation includes an estimated amount to conclude the implementation phase of the restructured compensation system during the fiscal year.
The finance minister added that the government needs to be careful with allocations so that there are adequate resources for capital expenditure.
Wages and salaries are projected to represent 12.6% of GDP in 24-25, Madam Speaker, and this is up from 9.2% of GDP in 2019/20. And it must be noted that the amount budgeted for public sector compensation for 2024-25 exceeds actual compensation for 2021-22, the year before the compensation restructuring began, by approximately $200 billion. It is obvious obvious, Madam Speaker, that the government has made a concerted effort to address historical challenges with public sector compensation, and now it is time to consolidate. As a country, we need to be careful to ensure that sufficient resources are left for growth-inducing capital expenditure, for programs that can enhance Jamaica's human capital, and for social expenditure on behalf of more vulnerable members of the Jamaican society.
Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark and opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson has raised concern about a higher than normal wage to gross domestic product GDP ratio. He was reacting to comments by Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark when the budget for the upcoming fiscal year was tabled in the lower house this afternoon.
The public sector wage bill, which is understandably high based on the compensation exercise, which started last year, has reached 12.6% of GDP. While we have removed the 9% target that existed, I would like to know what is the projection going forward, given the challenges that we have had with growth and the fact that our growth rates tend to be in the 1 to 2%. And while the adjustment was necessary, we are seeing a higher than normal wage to GDP ratio.
Opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson. In response, Dr. Clark pointed out that the government must ensure that wage growth does not exceed revenue growth.
We don't want to go much beyond this number in terms of wage to GDP. 12.6 is already on the upper end of wage expenditure for comparable peer group countries. And so it's going to be the answer to your question is that going forward, wage growth cannot exceed revenue growth. It has to be less than how your revenues are able to grow, right? So it's something that will require the entire society to weigh in on, and for us to not have one-dimensional conversations around wages, given the historic effort that has been made to address long-standing and legitimate grouses and grievances. It's critically important that resources are available for the wider society. The public sector is only 100,000 individuals. There are 3 million people who live in Jamaica, and the budget has to serve all 3 million.
Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. Opposition leader Mark Golding has suggested that Prime Minister Andrew Holness should not contest another election unless his statutory declaration is certified. Certain categories of public officials and workers, including the Prime Minister and opposition leader, are required to file their declaration to the Integrity Commission every year and have it certified. Mr. Golding noted that the IC reportedly still has issues relating to the Prime Minister's declaration. Speaking at a press briefing today, Mr. Golding said until the Prime Minister's declaration is certified, he should be disqualified from re-election.
Not just 1 year, but more than 1 year, those statutory declarations remain uncertified. No satisfactory reason has been given by the Prime Minister for this. And quite frankly, in any self-respecting democratic system, that should disqualify him from putting himself forward for any renewal of office. We have heard nothing from him of any substance as to why his statutory declarations are not certified. And indeed, we're about to have to file again. We're in the filing period now for the 2023 year. And the cloud remains over the Prime Minister for prior years. It's very unsatisfactory.
Opposition leader Mark Golding. President of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, Mitchell Siaga, said Jamaica needs to overcome the decline in productivity in order to reach its full economic potential. Citing the goal to stimulate economic growth, Siaga pledged that the PSOJ will continue its advocacy for socio-economic reforms that will develop a strategy to create higher quality goods and services. This would increase the demand.
One of our most pressing concerns is a decline in productivity, which requires immediate attention. This is a challenge we must overcome in order to unleash our full economic potential. Our goal is clear. It's to stimulate economic growth and create an environment where every Jamaican can thrive, in line with the ambitious targets set out in Vision 2030. In this context, and to this end, the PSOJ continues to advocate for essential social and economic reforms while taking proactive steps to develop an export-led strategy. Our export-led strategy is laser-focused on creating and promoting high-quality, value-added products. By doing so, we aim to significantly enhance the intrinsic value of our exports and elevate the global perception and demand for Jamaican goods.
Meantime, Mr. Siaga notes that over the past 2 decades, the country saw declining productivity levels in comparison to other Caribbean nations. To address this issue, he said more attention should be placed on bridging the skills gap as 8 out of 10 highly trained professionals migrate, thereby affecting the country's productivity level.
Jamaica has the lowest labor productivity compared to the other Caribbean countries over the last 2 decades. Jamaica has had weak and declining productivity levels. There are some things that we need to do to address that. And one of them is addressing the skills gap. Jamaica's skills gap is crucial due to the substantial emigration of highly trained professionals. It's important to note that over recent decades, nearly 1 million Jamaicans have relocated, with over 80% of tertiary educated expatriates trained domestically. Now, folks, that means that every 8 out of 10 people that we train go away and live and produce for other economies. This is hurting us badly.
PSOJ President Metro Siaga speaking at a press briefing today. The Privy Council appeal hearing for entertainer DJ Vybz Kartel Palmer and his 3 co-accused has ended. Having heard the arguments in the case, the United Kingdom-based Privy Council will consider the submissions and issue a judgment. Kartel, Sean Campbell, Kahira Jones, and Andre St. John were convicted of the murder of Clive Lizard Williams in 2014. After efforts to overturn their convictions in 2018 were dismissed by the Court of Appeal in Jamaica, they brought the matter to the Privy Council. Between yesterday and today, the Privy Council heard arguments challenging whether the trial judge should have excluded telecommunications evidence relied on by the prosecution and questions on how the judge should have handled allegations of attempts to bribe members of the jury during the trial. The Privy Council judges will consider these submissions and issue their judgment. Attorney at law Bert Samuels, who represents Kahira Jones, explained that there are 3 possible outcomes of the appeal.
Like all criminal appeals that go on appeal, there are 3 possible outcomes. One is that the appeal is dismissed and the sentence continues. 1. 2, the appeal is allowed, but a retrial is ordered. And 3, and best for the defendants, the appeal is allowed and men are acquitted and go home.
Mr. Samuels, while stressing that there is no fixed date for the judgment to be issued, noted that it's likely to come in June.
If you notice, the court ended without giving any notice as to when they will deliver their decision. So this opinion is only based on past practice in the Privy Council. I think that it should be a June decision by my guesstimate. It's 9,000 pages of record for the appeal. It's a huge amount of work put into it by both sides and a huge amount of work for the court to do. So I'm looking possibly at a June delivery.
He expressed optimism that the council will rule in favor of Kartel and his co-accused and free them.
I'm hugely convinced that the jury point that the judge ought to have discharged the jury when he discovered that there was an allegation that one of its members was trying to bribe the others. And interestingly, since the appeal has been filed, and just late last year, that person has been found guilty. He has appealed, but it has worsened the pot for the prosecution's case. So my view is the question of the appeal being allowed on the basis that the judge ought not to have caused the jury to continue to sit, but should have ordered a new trial. That point seemed to have gained great traction in the minds of the Privy Council, and we're looking forward as optimists that that will cause us to move the conviction and free the accused.
Attorney at law Bert Samuels. A St. Andrew man accused of opening fire on a house in Bulby 4 years ago was freed by the gun court today after the alleged eyewitness admitted to lying. 32-year-old hospital reporter Damien Anderson of Bulby was facing charges of illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. It's reported that in October 2020, Anderson was among 3 men who fired shots at a house in Bulby before setting it on fire. In court, the eyewitness admitted under cross-examination by defense attorney Abel Foot that he is a habitual liar and was telling lies on Anderson. When the witness was shown a photograph from the crime scene, he agreed that a tree was partially blocking his view and that he's unsure about who was firing at the house. He said he was traumatized by the incident, which happened shortly after 5 a.m., just before daylight. He further stated that the men were dressed in black pullover hoodies, which partially covered their faces. The witness said he was not able to identify any of the 3 men he saw. After cross-examination, Mr. Foot submitted that the evidence is unreliable and ridden with lies. Therefore, Anderson should be freed. The prosecution then offered no further evidence in the case. Justice Vaughn Smith then returned a formal verdict of not guilty.